Full of greed, heart full of spite. Foodie can't see the light. Overeating, losing the fight. Greed, a hold a tight.
Welcome back. In this video we're going to take a look at her now deleted video from yesterday called Schooling Haters ASMR. And in this she had a bit of a mini rant about people complaining about her mukbangs and that it was her binging. She explains to us in the way only Chantal can why we're all wrong and we know nothing. Let's get into it, shall we? After I'd recorded the following react and was doing the edit, I found that this video of hers had now been removed, gone. People on Twitter were claiming that they had reported it and had a response back that it had been removed as a result. So I don't know for sure if Chantal deleted it or YouTube removed it. So here you go, no longer available on YouTube. But I have a copy anyway. So this is her Schooling Haters ASMR video. Bit of a mini rant. She calls it a rant at the end, but it's more of a composed rant, I would say. It's not a full-blown rage. She's still sitting on that strike, remember, for a few more days.
Hi, welcome back to another video. This video I call Telling Off Haters in my ASMR voice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up.
That's not actually what you called it, but you must have considered calling it that, okay.
And let's get into it, shall we? All right, so normally, you know, somebody who has an online presence and is...
Hold on, let's get into it, shall we? That's my line.
well known would just ignore certain criticisms. Now the thing is the community of reactors and critics and haters that orbit myself, my being, are...
Orbit your being? It's one hell of an orbit then, isn't it?
dumber, more ignorant, and more petty than most. They're not normal reactors. They're not normal tea channels because they create tea when there is none. But there is something that I see going around that I just want to correct and school people on because there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to eating disorders.
Oh, we're going to get educated by Foodie. Get your notebooks out, peeps.
So I want to first say that people are picking apart my mukbangs. They claim to hate them. They don't like them. They can't stand the noises.
Claim to or actually do.
Whatever. So now the tea on the mukbangs is that apparently every mukbang I do is massive and a binge, which most of them are neither. So let me explain. I will use the KFC mukbang as an example. Now, the KFC mukbang I just recently did today is neither a binge and it is it's also not massive. I will show you.
Not massive, maybe, but you said yourself you were full, you couldn't finish it, and that's unusual for you. I didn't call it a binge. I think there's only one of hers a while ago that I termed a binge personally, for me anyway. Can't speak for other reactors.
I'll show you an example of a massive KFC binge right here. Okay, as you can see, there are a couple of buckets of chicken. There is just a whole lot of food there, okay? And if you compare with my
I bet she wishes she had that, eh?
mukbang, I have 2 chicken wraps, which are large. Yes, I do comment that in my video. And I have one, it's actually an individual size of cheese fries because you can actually get smaller size or family size, as you can see pictured here. Yes, I come with receipts. Now, I don't think anyone would accuse this mukbanger of having a binge here on KFC because they're thin. So.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can stop right there, lady. I would call that a binge. I don't care the size of the person. As I've always said, it's not your size that I care about. It's your health. It's the way you lie, your behavior. You know, you put it all out there on the internet, have done for years, opening yourself up to criticism, and then you can't take the criticism and critique. Let's get it right, Chantal.
There's the stigma right there, just because I'm overweight, that anything I eat that is not healthy, and I will acknowledge that the food I eat in mukbangs a lot of the time are not healthy.
Oh, good. Bit of insight there.
I use my mukbang as a means to eat things that most people think I shouldn't eat.
Why? Why do you use it as that means? Aren't you using it to make money, to get views? That's what I think.
And to eat things that are just not really obviously healthy.
Again, why? With your medical conditions. It's not nice watching somebody do this to themselves, is it? I mean, I know I react to it, you know, and have a bit of a laugh and things, but if you've watched my videos, you'll see that I often comment, I wish she would look after her health more. You know, I'm not a nasty person. There's some reactors I've seen that do go in hard that I would consider nasty. I don't go to that place. I'm having a laugh, having a bit of a react. It's a thing.
So the thing is you're right. That probably isn't a binge for her. Just because somebody is eating large...
No, I said I would consider that a binge. I don't care what size you are. That massive mountain of food that you showed us for that other woman.
quantities of food in one sitting does not mean that it is considered a binge in terms of binge eating disorder. So I've explained this many times, but again, the community of reactors or haters or whatever, they are like talking to a brick wall. And once they've made up their mind about something about your life, they're always right and you're always wrong no matter what you do. Even if you prove yourself. So I'm removing the lid of a new pot so that my cat can sit inside and I can take you pictures and yeah.
Oh. It makes me think immediately of the blue pot incident. Letting your cat sit in the pot. I hope to God she washes it properly. And nothing against cats, but you know what I mean? If you're meant to be cooking food in that pot. Oh.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm always wrong. And everyone knows best. You know, everyone...
You're often wrong, but it's more that you often lie and get caught out in your lies.
An expert in this and that. They know more about your life, how you feel, than you do your own. Isn't that something? That's a true phenomenon right there.
Ooh, getting a bit into it, isn't she? Ooh.
Now, I want to school you a little bit on what a binge is for me.
Oh, we're getting schooled. Here it is.
And binge eating disorder is very personal, and each individual would probably define what they consider a binge a little different and from the next person. I would say that there are some base foundations that if you look up binge eating disorder, that certain organizations will tell you, you know, these are the signs, the symptoms, things like that. That could be included. You know, just kind of like when everyone has a flu, not everyone has diarrhea, not everyone has the same symptoms. So basically, for me, and I told the doctor I've seen about this, just a reminder, I have been to a center, outpatient center for eating disorders in Ottawa.
Well, I'm not being funny, but it hasn't done a lot of good, has it?
Well, when I lived there in Canada. Before that, I've seen a few therapists for a few sessions, quite a few sessions.
No mention of seeing one in Kuwait, though. And she says when she lived in Canada, she's not actually lived in Canada for well over 18 months now.
I've been to inpatient therapy growing up as a teenager. And yada, yada, yada. So I've...
Yada, yada, yada. That's one of her tells.
Read books on binge eating, Brain Over Binge, The Binge Code, intuitive eating books. I've downloaded countless calorie counting apps, and I've tried many diets. But for me, a binge, when I enter binge...
Reading books alone doesn't make you any expert on it, on anything, really. Not alone.
Mode, we'll call it. It's not just about how much food I'm eating. And I can tell you right now, you're not going to see me actually have a binge in terms of binge eating disorder, which is when I binge eat, on camera. There's a big, big difference between overeating and binge eating. And the difference is a very psychological one more than physical. And it's...
Well, let's have a look at it. So you can pause and read this fully if you want to. But it says, basically, overeating can be a normal tendency for many individuals, such as having an extra helping at a meal, even when already full, or eating beyond satiety at a special meal or celebratory occasion. And for BED, defined as recurring episodes of eating significantly more food in a short period of time than most people would eat under similar circumstances, with episodes marked by feelings of lack of control. Well, I'm sorry, but she does show us recurring episodes of eating significantly more food in a short period of time than most people would eat under similar circumstances. Wouldn't you agree?
Physical. And it's psychological triggers that cause the physical.
What are these psychological triggers? Are you depressed? I mean, you've told us you are, but at the same time, you tell us how wonderful your life is there, how you love living in Kuwait, in happy marriage, etc.
Physical binge eating. And in a mukbang, it's planned, it's calculated.
Is it? What, planned by the number of cameo requests coming in for it?
It's
calculated. Does she mean calculated calorie-wise? I don't think so. Calculated more as in planning, maybe. Planning what food to get. What can I eat today?
done. There's a mean to it. There's a reason for it. Mukbang is a huge thing on the internet. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only overweight one to do it. And I'm also
Don't think anybody ever said you were.
not the only overweight one with health problems to do it as well. A lot of people don't
Again, not sure anybody said that.
talk about their personal lives. Usually mukbangers don't, a lot of them. So I understand the reception for that. People are concerned because I do talk a lot about my health problems. People know I have binge eating disorder. They know I have diabetes. But what you don't know on a daily basis is other things that I eat throughout the day. You don't know how often I actually do binge eat. And you don't know whether allowing myself to eat these foods actually does help or not. With
How in the hell can it help? I'm actually dumbfounded by that statement.
the actual binge eating. So I want to say that for me, a binge is, you know, binge eating disorder is a psychiatric disorder. That's why when I went for outpatient treatment, I was, you know, seen by a psychiatrist. I was put on Vyvanse. I was, you know, went through the rigmarole, and yeah. So I mean, it obviously didn't cure me, but
No.
I felt like the doctor didn't have as much experience with binge eating as they do with other eating disorders. And
Well, hopefully you're about to tell us that you sought further treatment then from an actual specialist, hey?
that's because, again, you know, if you have an eating disorder and you're obese and it shows, people just assume that you just overeat and you're just a pig. Basically, that's exactly how it goes.
No, certainly not for me. I know there's a lot of health conditions that can cause people to be overweight or bloated. Disabilities, having to take steroids, for example, for medical conditions. There's a whole raft of reasons, not just because somebody's being a pig. Is this projection? Is this what she thinks? This must be what she thinks when she sees larger people. Just my opinion.
They don't think that you have disordered eating. And I'm here to tell you that regardless of what you think, it doesn't mean that you know. Okay, there's a big difference there, and you don't know what you're talking about. So for me, getting back to this, I go on tangents. For me, an actual binge is a psychological issue, and it's usually triggered by different things. But it's usually just a big, overwhelming urge. I'm trying to think of how to describe it accurately. It's hard to describe.
She put on screen there, nothing to do with hunger. As we said, it's not a physical hunger at all, is it? She's saying that herself.
It's a feeling. It's like a overwhelming feeling. And it's not something I would want to see myself do, and it's not something I would want to show people. Throughout my whole life, I've had this. I used to sneak food, hide it in my bedroom. When I was living in a group home, I used to steal food from the fridge, bring it up to my bedroom, like big blocks of cheese and bread and whatever. So I binge in secret. It's something that I hide. I mean, I've told you guys the stories about the pizza boxes in my closet when I used to live with BB, you know? So it's like, I do it in secret. I don't do it as a mukbang. I think I've shown maybe a couple of binges as more of a vlog or like an educational thing to be transparent and show you what it's like for me. I may not even have, I don't remember that far back about what I did with the video, if I did a video like that, but
That's even more concerning that as well as what we see her eat on camera, she's saying that she has binges as well that we don't see. Wow.
Or a mukbang, no, it's not like that. A mukbang is a mukbang. So even if you see this lady here with this huge mukbang, it's probably still not a binge. I mean, I don't know her life, but just because there's lots of food doesn't mean that.
Well, perhaps rather than just showing a random picture that you found, maybe you could have researched that person, told us a bit more about her. If you're trying to use her as an example, maybe you should have found out a bit more about her life.
Doesn't mean that it's a binge, okay? So anyway, I would, just get massive quantities of food when I'm alone, when I'm...
But you've told us that you're with Salah pretty much all of the time. Not the case, eh? As we said all along.
feeling a particular way, sometimes you just feel the binge urge come on, and I don't really know how to describe it other than that. And it's very hard to control. It's very hard to fight. I mean, if it wasn't, there wouldn't be anyone with this disorder, right? It's notorious for being hard to fight, So for example, like if I was alone previously,
previously, she's added that in. She's realized what she said. Now she's backtracking.
I would just start eating anything I could grab. Like sometimes I would even just eat like anything, literally. Like I one time ate relish, like because there was dill relish in the fridge, and that was the last thing I could binge on. Like 3 to 4 packets of noodles, of ramen, 5 little bags of chips, a whole tray of cheese, a whole block of cheese, just mindlessly autopilot, just not even thinking about it. And then after you binge eat, you have this more psychological side effect of just this overwhelming feeling of guilt and like shame and just ickiness. You cringe at yourself and you're like, you feel defeated. It's this overwhelming feeling of defeat and hopelessness, and that you don't have control over your own self.
So I would say again, there's no more mention of having gone back to see a different psychiatrist or a different specialist in this condition. So what, you've seen a few in the past and you've left it at that? Why aren't you seeking further treatment then? You tell us that you can afford medical treatment in Kuwait, see somebody there, or you could have arranged to see somebody on your trips back to Canada. You told us in your last trip that you were seeing a therapist or two.
And you don't understand it. And it's a totally different dark feeling. It's a dark place. And it's not my mukbangs at all. My mukbangs are planned. They are...
You've told us that.
Mostly calculated, sometimes...
Again, what does she mean by that? Calculated as in calories, which I don't think is what she means. Calculated. I think she means planning either what will make the most disgusting sounds or disgusting facial pictures. I don't know.
Sometimes no, but trying to do better with that. They have a purpose, and they're not the same at all.
Again, the purpose that she told us earlier is rather concerning, eh?
If I overly restrict myself, it's a disaster, for binge eating.
Well, maybe don't overly restrict yourself. Just take baby steps. Start restricting bit by bit.
Life needs to be more structured and everything like that. Yes, I know that. But I have a million problems, but binge eating in a mukbang is not one of them. And for it to be called a binge is very misleading to people, and it's wrong. It's false information. It's complete bullshit. And my kid.
Ooh, sweary now. It's weird seeing her in her hijab and things swearing. To me, it's weird. She cosplays being this Muslim revert, but she always slips up.
KFC mukbang was massive. Wow. I don't know if it's a camera angle or what, but I don't know if people don't watch my mukbangs till the end either, because I didn't finish the food. I had one of the wraps. I had a few bites of the second one, and I didn't even finish the cheese fries. So, I really don't know where that was massive. I mean,
I didn't say it was massive. I do watch them to the end, and I did say in my react to it that, yep, you left some.
Comment below if you can eat a whole wrap and half of cheese fries. I really, really just think it's just complete BS. and stupid and misinformation, and it's false, and it's a desperate attempt at content. And it's really just at this point, these people are just like dingleberries, and they just don't fall off, and they need to be dropped into the toilet and flushed away, because that's where you belong, in the crapper.
Right, now hold on. Dingleberries. How dare you talk about dingleberries whenever Sam and PBJ, we could see they had those. Oh God, don't get me started on the cats again. How is she saying this for a deliberate reaction about the cats using that word dingleberry, huh? Ooh.
Your content is crap. It's desperate, and
okay, content is crap, desperate. If it's that crap, why do people get so many subs? Not me, I'm just starting out. I haven't even got 1,000 yet. But there's some out there with tens of thousands of subs reacting to you. You've got to ask yourself, why? Is it because they make it entertaining?
I have every right to do mukbangs and eat just like everyone else, even if I have diabetes, even if I have a binge eating disorder, because none of you are doctors, and none of you are are experts on an eating disorder. And I'm sure if you were, you wouldn't be in gorlworld. You probably have a life and an education. But
well, speaking for myself, I do have a very full life, and I do have an education. Unlike you, Chantal, I did stick it out at university. 3 degree courses pour moi. Not everybody is uneducated, dumb, etc. who reacts to you. I know you like to think that, Chantal. It's just not the case. There's other reactors to you that I know have spoken about their education, and they have full-time jobs as well. Same as myself. Very fulfilling life. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, it makes no difference to me. It's not my income. It's just a hobby. I would find another hobby if I didn't have this channel. Simples.
But so yeah, this is why I decided to keep my personal life offline, because despite the mukbangs, my blood sugars are still the same. They're more than cut in half than what they were. They've gone from 24 mmol down to 11, and
which is still far too high. Still causing long-term damage to your health.
That's on the higher side. Sometimes they're 8, sometimes they're 9, sometimes they're 10, but not usually higher than 11. And
she thinks that's fine.
Which is a big improvement, and I still have time to get it down even more.
Do you? How do you know how much time you've got left, Chantal? Seriously. I would question that.
You don't see the little efforts I do throughout the day and stuff like that. So you don't know. But because you don't...
What could those little efforts be? Oh, maybe I'll just do the one mukbang today instead of 2. Is that the kind of effort you're talking about?
No, Anyway, that's what I wanted to basically rant about, is just all of the misinformation. Nobody makes an educated video whatsoever on actual accurate information. So I'm telling you from, having this my whole life, what a binge is for me. And honestly, no strangers on the internet have the right to tell me what a binge is. None. When it comes to my eating disorder, that's exactly the bottom line. And it's just BS. So anyway, the worst thing is a lot of people criticizing what I eat. If they had the gall and the nerve to show themselves and their life, they eat the same thing. I mean, you're going to tell me you never eat
no. Again, speaking for myself, I absolutely do not eat what you eat.
A dish of fries with 1 wrap? That's massive?
No, that would be more than massive for me, personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Again, she has to project this. Make out that anybody who reacts to her has to be several £100 in weight. They have to be a slob, no job, no life, got nothing else to do. It just isn't the case.
I know people don't agree with my eating style, but I'm not ever going to be one to, and I've decided this after trying these diets, after just failing after fad diet after fad diet. I'm not ever going to completely cut carbs. I'm not ever going to completely cut junk food and go vegetarian, keto, carnivore. I'm not going to do it. So I don't know how many mukbang videos or how many things you're going to see me eat that you have to keep bitching about, but it's just, it's beating a dead horse at this point. I mean, I don't know. I guess it sells, but I was just coming here to tell you that
You don't want to talk about saying, I guess it sells. Mukbangs sell for you. Clearly, that's why you're doing them. You wouldn't keep doing them if you weren't getting any revenue from it, would you? Pot, kettle, black.
you're not right about my videos. They're not a binge, and a lot of them are not massive.
A lot of them are not massive. Another tell there, which means some of them are massive, in her own words.
A lot of the time, I don't even finish my food. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, you know? But there are mukbang.
Don't finish them on camera, you mean? As soon as the camera rolls, stops rolling, how do we know that you don't, pull it out from under your little mukbang table and finish it off? Or even half an hour later, finish it off? Doesn't mean that food's going in the bin, does it?
Mukbangers who eat way more. People bigger, people my size, people thinner. And you don't know. Maybe those people who are thin have binge eating disorder, but they don't gain weight for whatever reason. Maybe they purge, maybe they just work out a lot. That's a form of restricting, is excessive exercise, but you don't know. So why speak about something serious like that you don't know about? People who are thin and have binge eating disorder would not be criticized that way.
Again, I refute that, as I have done earlier in this react.
You know, it's very unhealthy for them too. It's not healthy.
Agreed.
It's not a healthy thing to have that disorder, big or small.
Agreed.
So anyway, I don't care. I
don't care, but she's made a 21-minute video about it. Tell us you don't care again, Chantal.
what you want, but the misinformation is just out of this world. So I wanted to come on here and correct that and just let you know personally what a binge is for me in regards to binge eating disorder, and also just call you out, call those of you who are, oh my gosh, it's a massive portion, I could feed my family of 8. Well,
yeah, a lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Then you need to have your family, given to someone else because you're underfeeding them. If your family
Oh, go to hell. Feck all the way off.
of 8 can eat 1 wrap, you have something wrong with you.
Well, no, I wouldn't say 1 wrap would feed a family of 8. No. Somebody must have done a react to her KFC mukbang that's really got up her nose. I'll have to try and find that.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. I'm done with my bitchy video. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.
She's done with her bitchy video, in her own words. Right, there you go. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.
Belly belly full, but she want more. Anger rising, can't keep score. Money off the spend, can't ignore. Greed a joke until she can't adore. Belly full of greed, heart full